Good evening, everybody. Welcome back, Spartan Nation Radio. Before we go anywhere, we're joined by the Grand Poobah of SMD Law, the official law firm of the Spartan Nation, 866-529-3537, or smdalaw.com. Again, one more time. By the way, I want you to know, Nancy, I appreciate your email last time where she said, Hondo, I'm trying to get the number, and you said it too fast. 866-529-3537, smdalaw.com. The Grand Poobah is Jeff Michalowski. Jeff, before we do legal stuff, what'd you think of the Super Bowl?
That was a great game. I mean, how could you not like that game? Back and forth, back and forth. I mean, coming into it, Kansas City was what, a 1.5-point favorite for entertainment purposes only, of course. and of course, you watch that game and it unfolds. The lead changes, but never gets out of reach. And lo and behold, Patrick Mahomes comes up and shows us that same style he's been selling all year. I mean, it was great to see defense. And one thing I did love, as much as this game was controlled by defense, did you watch what San Francisco was doing offensively?
Yes.
It was like a return to the good old days of power football. 2 backs, a tight end, 2 receivers, some motion, play action. I mean, that's the football I grew up with, Hondo. That's an offense I understand. That's ball control. It's smash mouth. It's awesome. I loved it.
I agree. Jeff, I wanted to ask you about this one thing about the Super Bowl that I found to be interesting. Is I thought the game was great. I loved how Patrick Mahomes started poorly but came on strong, all of it. But you're a dad with a bunch of young kids like, your kids, my son's a little bit older, but not much older than yours. What did you think of the halftime show?
Well, I thought it was a bit hypocritical of the NFL, who's got all these ads mixed in about diversity and inclusion and empowering females, and then they have the halftime show. But let's look at what the NFL really is, Hondo, and this is what I get upset with. The NFL is it's nothing more than a cash grab. Anything they could do to make money and try and make money in as many different ways as possible. Pleasing the people that, protest, the protest crowd. Pleasing the big money crowd. Pleasing entertainment. Pleasing whoever they can. As long as it makes money, what do they care? It's going to be some bad press for about another month or so until the draft starts up. As soon as the draft starts up, it's all forgotten. And the mighty NFL is controlled by the mighty dollar.
Yeah, to me it reeked of hypocrisy from my league that wants to be part of the Me Too movement to then I thought it best when my son said, Dad, I turned off the halftime. That was terrible. Made me proud of my son.
Absolutely.
All right. So, Jeff, we got to get in on this because I got some good stuff for you. The first one comes to us from Katie P. Her last name starts with a P. Katie P. says, Dear Mr. Carpenter, I love Spartan Nation Radio and listening to it. You and Mr. Michalowski oftentimes will talk politics. I'm a devoted Democrat. I don't understand what happened at the Iowa caucuses. I don't know when you'll have them on next week or even if you have them on this week. Can you ask about what legally do we have as Democrats when we give to something? I'm from Michigan but gave to a candidate for their Democrat work. She says it's Amy Klobuchar. She said, and we don't get results. Is there a class action lawsuit against the Democratic Party in Iowa?
Interesting. You know what? I wish I could answer it, Hondo, but I don't know what the heck happened in Iowa.
I don't think anybody does.
No one knows.
Well,
we'd have to figure out what the final results were before we could even comment on that question, Katie. I wish I could help.
Well, just so you know, that one was when I got into the office this morning, that was sitting in the inbox, and I thought that is so relevant. I'm going to ask Jeff that first. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it's a great question. I could tell you the basics of what a class action actually is. First of all, for a class action to exist, it must be certified as a class. And that is that you have to prove to the court that there are multiple people with the same injury or same damages in the same event. Now, this is where you got a problem. What's the damages? What's the injury? So he donated to a cause, and the cause couldn't figure out which candidate was in the lead or who they wanted or whatever. What's your damage? Emotional? Well, not going to work. You have to have some measurable damage, illness, injury, or condition to move forward. So probably not going to be any hope in getting a class action, which leads me to my favorite answer of all time, Hondo.
No!
You got it.
That's going to very easily segue into our next question. Next one comes to us from Megan and Brent. Megan and Brent. Dear Hondo, we just got a notice that there has been a class action settlement with Yahoo asking us not to file a claim but to register for our settlement. We can't afford an attorney, but I'm just curious what that means. Could you ask Mr. Michalowski? Oh, and they are from St. John's, Michigan.
St. John's. I had a buddy of mine from St. John's I played football with at the mighty Adrian College. At any rate, what does it mean? Well, when there is a class action lawsuit, great segue, by the way, Hondo, the participants in it have a right to accept the award or pursue your own litigation against the defendant. Well, I'm going to tell you the chances and likelihood of succeeding against Yahoo as lowly little old yourself are not very good. Class actions, I hate to say it, the only people who make money on this are the evil lawyers. And, of course, the person who certifies the class or the original person who brings the issue to light. So for most of the class, you're going to end up with a nominal settlement. The best you're going to do is actually go ahead with the class and take your settlement and run.
All right. This next one comes to us from Kurt. Kurt is in Birmingham, Michigan. Dear Mr. Carpenter, I recently put my house up for sale. Someone made an offer and I accepted it. However, after I accepted it, they withdrew it. It would seem to me, since I took the house off the market and I accepted their offer, there should be some financial recourse. Can you ask Mr. Michalowski?
There would be, but generally that's going to be controlled by the purchase agreement you signed prior to the sale. In that purchase agreement, there will be a term or a paragraph regarding the earnest money deposit. Chances are you'll be able to keep that earnest money deposit, and that's what we call liquidated damages. Damages that are stated by the contract that explains what you receive in the event of default. If there wasn't earnest money put down or wasn't a purchase agreement, the best you're going to be able to do is try and what we call under the law, there's a principle. You just can't sit there and lick your wounds and say, woe is me. You're supposed to mitigate your damages, which would mean putting the house up for sale. Potentially, you might have an action if you couldn't sell the house for the same price that was the original sales. But that's going to be, throwing good money after bad. I would urge you, get it back up on the market. It's a seller's market out there. Get it up, get it sold, move on.
Okay, the next one comes to us from Cliff. Cliff says, Dear Mr. Carpenter, I am about to get married and I need a prenuptial agreement. What types of things does Mr. Michalowski think are normally not in there, but he would put in if he was doing one today?
Wow, that's a pretty open-ended question. We always do a free consultation, Hondo, on everything. So it might make a great potential client here. Donna Verkus, who is our family law wizard at the firm, would be more than happy to sit down, take a peek at it, and decide how to proceed. So give us a call. We know the number now. It's 866
529 3537.
You got it. I was going nice and slow, Hondo.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were trying to find it. 866
No.
529 3537. Right? All right.
Yep, you got it.
Next one. Dear Mr. Michalowski, my name is Jeb. I am 11 years old, and I am in the 6th grade, and I live in South Lyon, Michigan. My teacher told us that if we study in her class, we'll do good. I am studying in her class and doing terrible. My mom says I'm going to end up without a job and worthless like my uncle. I think that was very mean. Do I have a case against my teacher because I am studying and she says that we would all do good if we studied and I'm not? Please help me. My mom and dad said you were probably the best answer. My mom said my uncle would have never thought of contacting you, so maybe she'll learn I am smarter than my uncle. P.S. She hates my uncle. She said he only dates women who take their clothes off for money.
Wow.
I don't want to laugh so hard that I overcome you. I just thought that was so funny.
Well, that's a riddle wrapped in mystery, wrapped in a conundrum, huh?
He only dates women that take their clothes off for money.
Poor uncle.
Don't you love this show?
Right,
don't you love this show? Don't we keep it real?
It does. It does. Oh, man. Here's what I suggest. Go to your teacher, ask for help. A lot of times, Hondo, I see it with my own kids. If you just ask a teacher for help, a lot of times, God bless these teachers, they don't know when a kid's struggling until they check the papers or grade the tests, and then it's almost too late. This should go for every kid out there that's listening. Ask questions. Don't be afraid. The world's a great place. Ask questions. Learn. And don't be afraid to go up to your teacher before recess, before lunch, before the bell rings, and just ask her, can I have 5 minutes? I just have a question about this problem. I need help. It's going to go a long way. It's going to probably help more kids in the class than you'll ever know. Do it and see what happens.
And don't date girls who take their clothes off for money.
Oh, Hondo.
All right. He is Jeff Michalowski from SMD Law, the official law firm of the Spartan Nation. 866-529-3537. SMDAlaw.com.